Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hodl and Shill. Today we're starting a new series, very similar to what we just started with our time staking in the Wonderland Finance DAO. We are going to be doing the same thing with Olympus. So if you didn't know, Olympus was the originator of the decentralized reserve currency protocol. And in fact, Time is a fork of that on the Avalanche network. So Olympus runs on Ethereum, which, yes, unfortunately, we have the gas fees that go along with that. However, this is like I said, the start of this protocol. They created it. And so we're going to jump in here and we're going to do a weekly setup on this as well. I had actually already started doing everything before I decided to make this a series. So we're going to just go through everything step by step on what I did and where we're starting. And then we'll just do a weekly update from there for 1 year's time. So I plan to do this for 1 year. Now, what we do with the funds between now and a year, if we reinvest them or we take it out, we probably will take our initial investment right out so that everything is, we ride free from our risk once we hit that point. But we'll discuss that as we go, and I'll include you guys in that weekly. But okay, so let's go through it. So Olympus is a decentralized reserve currency. Olympus is building a community-owned decentralized financial infrastructure to bring more stability and transparency for the world. So we can see their treasury balance, $722 million, the total value locked, and then their current APY right now is at 4,795%. So we're not getting... they're not listing some crazy amount of APY, which is usually just something that attracts people because they see that large number. But 4,000%, 4,700% actually is a really decent percentage there. Okay, and so how Olympus works? Let's go over that first. We have number one, the treasury revenue, bonds and liquidity pool fees. Bond sales and liquidity pool fees increase treasury revenue and lock in liquidity to help control the OHM supply. Then next, the treasury growth. So Olympus Treasury, the treasury inflow is used to increase the treasury balance and back outstanding OHM tokens and regulate the staking APY, which is how we get those crazy high APYs. Then next, we have our staking rewards. OHM token. This compound yields automatically through a treasury-backed currency with intrinsic value, which is your OHM token. So very much like Time, when you are staking these tokens, the value is not necessarily, you want the OHM token to stay healthy, and you want that to be, obviously we don't want it to lose value. But the real value when you're staking is in what your reward is. So in our case, we are getting GOHM or SOHM, and that is where we care about the value. So we don't necessarily, we want OHM to be healthy. We want it to stay healthy. But the real value when we stake is in what the reward that we're getting is. Sustainable staking APY, 4,795%. The Treasury regulated APY, Treasury inflow will always outperform its staking rewards, very much like I was talking about. Olympus is designed with long-term protocol health in mind. All OHM minted for staking rewards are backed with a reserve from the Treasury. So they're not just printing money out of thin air here, like the Fed does. This is actually backed by the Treasury, and that is where we get the safety and the longevity from this protocol. Okay, Olympus rewards stakers with compounding interest increase. Olympus rewards stakers with compounding interest, increasing their OHM holdings over time. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here. We can close this and we'll go right into the app itself, where I am already connected. So we can go through this first. See the market cap, the price, the current price is $337.59 when we're starting. So to give you an idea, OHM has gone all the way up to $3,000 in the past, and it is down to $337.59. So in fact, let's just look at, I had this pulled up before. If we zoom out to a year, the 52-week low is $164.40, and the 52-week high is $3,209.43. And we're down at $337.59 when we're jumping in. And so we're not, like I said, we're not going to go in heavy. We're doing this we started out with about $700 after fees. I'll tell you what we ended up with here now, but we're doing this to basically be around $500 or under. Just like we did with time. I think time was exactly $500. And we're doing that so that we're doing a low barrier to entry where anybody can jump in. You can do this. Anybody can afford to $500 to jump in, sell something, do whatever it takes to take a chance and do that. So we're going to go through this just so everybody understands. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the runway available. So what the runway means, this is 362.4 days. And this is, if you tooltip over these, this will explain what everything means. The runway is the number of days that SOHM emissions can be sustained at the given rate. Lower APY equals longer runway. So right now, if nothing changed in the protocol, they can sustain these values for 362.4 days. So there's 365 days in a year. We are just under a year out from being sustainable for one whole year if nothing was to change. So considering that this has dropped down from $3,000, that is really, really impressive. Okay, that is one of the things I wanted to talk about. So we will, like I said, in this series weekly, we will discuss what we want to do with our funds, whether we want to restake it, reinvest. Eventually, we will take out our initial investment, which that is what we'll talk about now. In our wallet, our initial investment, we are starting off with $426.15. So actually, we're under $500. And the reason why we're under $500 is because of fees. So I started out with $700. I'll show you guys actually in my wallet so that we're very clear and transparent here on how we started. We started out with 700 and actually, where is it at? $696 is what we started out with. Then we went and we exchanged Ethereum for OHM, and we were at $518.97. And we had fees to pay. So our fees to start were $25 just to approve the spend. And then to actually stake, we ended up paying another $72 in fees. So the fees are quite high. I mean, we could have been actually, a little bit more. We could have been over the $500 mark if our fees weren't so much. But it doesn't matter. Fees are fees, and that's the cost of doing business. And if that holds you back from jumping into a protocol like this, you're just holding yourself back. So don't let gas fees hold you back from taking an opportunity. Don't let that hold you back from. It's very easy to be like, oh, those gas fees are so crazy, I'm not going to do it. Well, guess what? If in a year from now, if this is worth 4,000% more, we're not going to be complaining about that $72 in gas fees that we paid to stake, are we? We're not. So don't let that hold you back. I'm not letting it hold me back. That's exactly why I'm doing this video series with a very small amount. I want people to be able to see the risk-reward factor is there. And if anything, follow along, see how you like what we're doing, and then follow along yourself and jump in. But that's exactly how we're starting. So we are starting with $426.15. That is 0.2140% of GOHM. If you go to stake, we are at 1.2623 SOHM is what we're actually staking. Okay, and that is equivalent to the GOHM, which when you switch from the version 1 contract to version 2, that's what turns it into GOHM, and that's what we paid that $72 fee that you saw. Okay, so to be clear, we are starting with $426.15. We're going to record that into a ledger, and we will update weekly as we go and keep that updated so that we can see our progress as we go. So our next reward is in 3 hours and 32 minutes. This is a 3-3, and that will be 0.3543%. The ROI, the 5-day rate right now, is at 5.4495%, which so 1% a day over the 5-day period. I'll take it. The magic of compounding interest here is what we're going to see, and that is really, really exciting. Okay, one of the things I wanted to talk about. So we'll talk about the APY, 4,711.2. The daily value deposited is 2,887,333,645. So that's 2 billion. 2,887,333,000. Okay, The current index is 58.9 SOHM, and I want to show you guys what that means. So the GOHM price is 19,910.42. Where they get, and the current index is 58.97 SOHM. Where they get this price is GOHM. The price of GOHM is equal to the price of OHM, which is our 337.59, multiplied by the current index. So if you take 337.59 and you multiply that times 58.97, that is where you get the price of GOHM. And the backing per OHM is currently at $96.39. So the risk-free treasury asset is another thing that we want to talk about. If we go mouse over that, the risk-free value is the amount of funds that the treasury guarantees to use for backing OHM. So this is going to back OHM regardless, and that is where this runway matters. So right now, no matter what, if anything was to change, the treasury can back everything up for 362.4 days. So thanks for watching. We're going to do this weekly, and we will keep everybody updated on our progress. We're keeping the, like I said, we're keeping the barrier to entry low, under $500, and I'm excited to do this weekly. So we'll see where we're at. But if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Check out the time, the time video that we're doing. We're going to do that weekly as well, and which is just a fork of Olympus on Avalanche. And then also look up our other videos. But either way, hit that subscribe button. Leave any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything that you have, leave that below, and we'll talk about it. But that's it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.